Goals or systems? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I wanted to talk, this is kind of an initial look at the Atomic Habits book by James Clear. If you haven't caught this book before, I gave kind of a general review yesterday, and today I wanted to go into kind of the first chapter and some of the things that really stood out for me. He talks a lot about compounding and the compound effect, which also a great book out there, Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, deals with the similar idea of how habits really compound over time. They don't, and it doesn't go in a straight linear line of improvement. It has very much a lagging result. Here's a picture of the plateau of latent potential. This is, where you see what actually happens versus what we all think should happen. That especially if you're doing the exact same thing day after day after day, let's say you're dealing with a daily habit, then it would seem like it would just gradually work its way up, and an improvement would be able to be seen pretty quickly. But in reality, improvement takes forever to be visual at all, and then it slowly ramps up, and then eventually it'll take off. And it goes way beyond what you think is even possible early on. But I wanted to get into this section on goals. So he talks about goals versus systems. And this is really good stuff because it's a lot of times we over-focus on goals as being the end-all to what needs to happen. And really, goals are just foundational. There's something that need to occur at some point, especially if you're running a business. Goals have to be in play somewhere, because you have to have everyone on the same side. You have to have everyone go in the same direction. You got to know, even in soccer, the goal is the place where you're kicking the ball to. It's the goal. That's where we're headed. If you don't know that, it's really easy to start kicking the ball in the wrong direction, because there's at least 3 other directions you could be kicking it in. So it's not as important. He spends some time saying that goals aren't important at all, and I disagree with that, but he then goes back and discusses what he means by that. But it's trying to break people out of that goal mentality as the goal being the thing. The goal is not the thing. The goal is the beginning of the thing, and then you got to build a system to back it up. So this is a great piece when he's talking about the different problems that are associated with goals. He says, achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. That's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. We think we need to change our results, but the results are not the problem. What we really need to change are the systems that cause those results. When you solve problems at the results level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problems at the systems level. Fix the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. This matters both personally and if you're working with any type of organization, including a business. That really does matter a lot. Understanding the importance of the systems being the thing. This is a thing that I come into contact over and over again with business owners, where they don't see the importance of systems, especially if they're very outgoing and they have a very spontaneous attitude about things, and they like to, keep things nice and loose. Then systems seem like they're fighting against that, when in reality they can help promote that in the long time. A systems first mentality provides the antidote. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime your system is running, and a system can be successful in many different forms, not just the one you envision. I also love this line, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. It's difficult to talk about and it's difficult to think about, but if you could realize that he talks about the trajectory is more important than the end game, than where you're going. It matters whether you've switched things on a regular basis, and if you can do that, if you just switch things by a small percentage, it's like I said, 1% improvement over time. If you could do that, that makes a big difference over time. It compounds, and it doesn't take that much willpower to do, especially if you're dealing with personal issues that you're trying to fix or make better. So it's just another piece of this Atomic Habits book. It's difficult to discuss. He does it better than me trying to explain what he said. So make sure you get a copy of the book. I don't get any I don't get any kickback for promoting this book. It's one of those books that makes such a big difference, I think, if you're in the right frame of mind and you're looking to make improvements and you're not sure how. If you get stuck really getting from point A to point B and you're not quite sure how to get yourself there, this is a good book for that. Also, my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business, I do get a kickback from these, but I don't charge very much for them. It's a short book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. You can get them wherever books are sold, and honestly, I give it away for free too. So if you want a digital copy, you go to my website, amazonproofbook.com, and sign up for a free digital copy. That's all I have for tonight. You have a good one. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.